Hey y'all. Hope everybody's doing okay today. It's Monday and I need to charge up this device right fast. So hold on, let me get my plug. Okay, I am back. I had my laptop moving around with me and apparently I didn't pay any attention to the amount of power it had. So I started a live stream without having it plugged up. But anyway, what's going on, y'all? We are back to December things. I can't believe it's almost Christmas. This is episode 14. I know most of you are probably out doing Christmas shopping, spending time with family, wrapping presents. Is anybody preparing food this early? Today is Monday, December 23rd, and this episode of December Things is entitled What Has 2024 Taught You? So, pretty much, what did you learn this year? This series is a daily audio upload or live stream Monday through Friday, meant to promote mental wellness, uplift, and encourage those who come across it. And if you are not catching the live stream, please do me a favor and comment in the chat replay. You can also leave your answer there. But yeah, we're getting ready to close this year out, and I thought it would be a good idea just to reflect on what we've learned this year. Like, what has this year really taught us? What has it taught us about ourselves? And what has it taught us about life in general? If you think back to the end of 2023 and what you had anticipated for the year, whether it's what you anticipated for your life or what you anticipated for someone else's life, how did that stack up to what the year actually provided? I think for the most part, we can say that we are grateful to still be here. Um, hey, A&I Family Adventure TV, how are you? Thanks for joining. Um, I think that it's good to see you. I appreciate you stopping by. I do a Monday through Friday, sort of a daily short, maybe 15 to 20 minutes long. I think the longest was 30 minutes, where I just kind of give a little bit of encouragement for the end of the year. People are dealing with so much. So every day I have a different topic. I usually say what I have to say. If people engage in the chat, then that's fine. There are a couple of people who come by to catch the replay. Hey T, how are you? So it's just good to be in community, especially this time of year when things happen so quickly. A lot of people are going through the holidays with this being their first major holiday without a loved one. Maybe failed relationships, maybe lost family members. I even see people posting on social media them getting laid off over Zoom right before the holidays. So it's good to reflect on what the year taught us and the fact that we're still standing in spite of. So that's today's topic. If you all want to weigh in, go right ahead. Um, what has this year taught you about yourself that you didn't know coming into the year? I think for me, it has taught me that I am in the right place in time for this season of my life. I have two 6 year olds, they're twins, and I also work from home, a corporate job. but I feel the pendulum sort of swinging more fully toward motherhood. I'm at a stage in my life where I've kind of not built my day-to-day routine, but I've advocated for myself in a number of spaces about how I want my day-to-day life to look so that I can be available for my children. And it's not always been easy, but I think that I'm satisfied with where I am currently, and I usually pick a word for every year, and I've not quite settled on the word for 2025 yet, but my word for 2024 was thriving. I just didn't want to be waking up to make it through the day every single day with all of the things that I had going on in terms of responsibility, and still trying to take care of my health and be present for my children and still enjoy life a little bit. So I think I've accomplished that. I'm grateful to those who have helped because let's face it, y'all, we don't get through this life alone. And a lot of times, we may think we're doing it. I see a lot of people who are misguided saying they're self made and they're self this and they're self that. And, that's not really the case. That's kind of a topic for a different day. But I want to um get in the habit of acknowledging people who support me and who help me on a day-to-day basis. So I do, I text people every now and then, "Hey, thank you for this, thank you for that. Hey, how you doing?" Checking in on folk because I realize that life is short, and I said it last week. This will probably be the last live stream that I say it on, but just in a matter of 1 week, I've learned of 5 people who've passed away, and it's like out of the blue for some. Some were, ill, but at the end of the day, this one life is all we have. And y'all, once the curtains close, that is it. Okay? So I like to reflect and I like to think about the things that I've been through this year and how I can use that to move through 2025 in a mentally positive space and doing what's best for me and my family despite what other people may think. So we get sometimes we can get in a situation where we want to do what everybody else wants us to do, or we want to take everybody else's suggestions and do a little bit of what this person says and a little bit of what that person says. I've learned this year about myself that I don't operate well like that. I operate well once um I guess am aware of everything I need to be aware of about a situation. What do I need to know right now? And once I make a decision, I'm happy with that decision. I'm happy with it. And whatever the consequences are, I'll deal with it. But I don't people please. I stopped that a long time ago. And so for this year, I've learned I make my decisions and I carry on. And so that has helped me to actually thrive this year instead of just waking up, running behind the 8 ball every single day. So I think it's a good idea to think about it. I think it's a good idea to write it down somewhere so you can see it. Or if you have a voice note app on your phone, open that app and just talk. I listened last week to some voice recordings I made when I left a previous job, and it sent chills down my spine to listen to me at that moment in time and to see how far I've come. So T said, I realized that if I don't say anything, that I would continue to be used and manipulated. But the minute I spoke up for myself and my feelings, I lost family members and friends. T, that's how it always is. I have this saying that people will ask you to do stuff and they will use you up till the very, very last. And then when there's no more of you to be used, like when you finally put your foot down about it, then you're the villain because you're not giving them what they want. I mean, they've taken everything you have and manipulated you into giving and doing, and you finally realize, wait a minute. And now all of a sudden you're of no use to those folks. So I'm hoping that you are able to find some peace this holiday season. How do you feel though without those people in your life? That's the question to ask. Do you feel like a weight has been lifted in that you can breathe because you're no longer at somebody's beck and call? If that's the case, then it was definitely a good thing. And sometimes emotions are mixed, right? You feel very hurt that people have basically abandoned you because they can't use you anymore. But sometimes, once that initial feeling is clear, it gets a little bit better, and you're like, okay, I can deal. Maybe I don't need to have them around me all the time because they're just constantly taking, taking, and taking. We got what, 7, 8 days left in this year. I often tell myself and others as well, whatever that new thing is you're going to start today, or whatever that boundary is you're going to set that you're not going to let people cross over, start that today. You don't have to wait until the new year rolls around to start it. Start it today. Get some practice in before it's really go time for you. It is life is really eye-opening. In those of us who use the calendar, the 365-day calendar, as a quote unquote chapter in our lives, it's good to sit back and not necessarily relive things, but just reflect on some of the things that you've been through and how you've come out of it, in some of the things that you're currently going through, pulling lessons that you've learned from previous situations along with you. I don't have much more than that for today. I try to keep these live streams for this series a little light because I know people's attention spans aren't aren't very, very long to listen. I like to tell people, if you ain't doing much or nothing, put me on in the Bluetooth speakers and just listen. I am thankful that you are here today. The world needs whatever it is that you have to offer. You are unique in your own right, and there's only one of you in this world. So, whatever your voice is, whatever your creative gift is, whatever that thing is that's your passion, think about this year in how what you've gone through has helped to shape that, how what you have learned will help be a catalyst to push you forward and more toward that in the new year. You got to bag that stuff up and take it with you and put it into action. T said, yes, some hurt, sometimes, yes, hurt, sometimes sad because I thought they truly cared, but I've learned throughout those times that we weren't the same. That's called growth, and sometimes growth hurts. It's called growth, it's called evolution, right? Not change, because you can always change back. I talked about that in a previous episode, but it's called growth and it's called evolution. And that doesn't mean that there's hatred there for those people. It simply means that we are not the same. We don't have similar interests because you're interested in using me and I'm not interested in being used. She said, next year, my motto is know and not to care how they feel about me. You have to protect your own peace. You have to protect your own mental wellness. You have to protect the space around you. Because once people invade that and they find that they can just kind of hang out there and do whatever they want to do, then that's what they're going to do. So you have to stay strong and stay true to you. I like to use the term show up for yourself every day. And that doesn't mean, that you have to be, I'm looking for the right word here, not evil, but you don't have to be nasty in your interactions with them. You can be cordial. One of the best one of the best ways to kind of show people that, I'm moving on with me and I'm not bothered by your shenanigans is to be cordial. You can be cordial and not have to deal with folk at all. And what it's going to do is confuse them. Man, she ain't messing with me no more, but she'll still speak. Yeah, why wouldn't I speak? Hey, how you doing? I don't hate you. I wish you well. You just can't come over here and do what you think you want to do. So I learned that our definition of love wasn't the same, and that's I mean that is a I think that's major because people take that word and twist it to mean what they want it to mean. And to be honest with you, is love is a word that's relative, right? People um define that for themselves. What makes somebody feel love is based on what they feel they need to have their needs met. And so your different definition of love can definitely be different than somebody else's definition of love. And I think you're very mature in your thinking for recognizing that, because once um, you have defined what love is for you, if it's different for the other person, you can't make the two mesh. You just can't. Hey Mo, how you doing? Thank you for listening. Y'all, please be sure to hit the thumbs up. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. We're just talking about what lessons we've learned from 2024, whether it's lessons about our own selves or lessons that we've taken from situations that we've been in. And as the year comes to a close, it's a good thing to kind of sit back and just think. I feel like the January 31st, this is I've learned over the years, right? January 31st and December 1st mark this uh, interesting time where people think all of a sudden they're going to be a new person on January 1st. No, you're going to be the same person you were on December 31st. You just need to be preparing to adjust your mindset and move in the direction that you want to move in. If you're one of those people who use the end of the year and the beginning of a new year to mark an evolving change in your life. So lessons are good. It's one of those things where whatever you feel like you've learned this year, take it and run with it. Do not look back. Do not live in the past. Do not continue to revisit old situations that have brought nothing but heartache, anxiety, disappointment. I'm talking more than just romantic relationships. I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about jobs. I'm talking about community, organizations, whatever it is. Put yourself right up there at the top of the list. T says, I would say no, then explain why I said no, which would turn into a yes. I'm standing on no and not caring about how they may feel about me. I watched one of your videos about saying no and not caring how they may feel about me. Oh, I watched one of your videos about saying, oh, thank you for watching that. Look, that was a lesson for me years ago. That was a lesson for me years and years ago. I stand on that. I stand on saying no. I stand on y'all just do not understand how passionate I am about it. And I can get real, I don't know what the word is, but I can, if you want to see me step toward another side of being, hear me say no and then try to force me to do something else. Now, I'm not going to say I'm not a negotiator and I don't compromise, because that's not the case. But when you run into people who are hell bent on changing your mind just so that they can have whatever it is that they want from you, that's where I have a problem. Saying no is definitely a full sentence. You don't have to offer an explanation. You don't have to try and sweeten it up with, I don't think so. No, maybe not today. Like, if you don't mean that stuff, don't say it. No, no, no. However you want, you can say it or you can sing it. Either way, no is no, and that's all there is to it. So I wish you all the best as the new year approaches, 2025. Get ready for all of the slogans with all the rhyming, learning how to thrive in 2025, staying alive in 2020, just whatever people are going to use to be creative. Sometimes people need to develop a slogan to as their own self-motivation, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But think about it. Think about your three things. If you can't think of three, at least come up with one. There has to be something that this year has taught you that you will carry with you for life. Think about January, think about February. Then came March and April, May, June, and July, August, September, October, November, and here we are in December. Surely one of those months held something that was valuable for you to carry on with you for the rest of your life. So get to wrapping those Christmas presents if that's your thing. If not, I am wishing you much rest and relaxation over the next few days. I'll be busy in the kitchen. I'm trying my hand at a TikTok peach cobbler recipe, so we're gonna see how that goes. Um, but just enjoy being around who you want to be around this holiday season, entertaining those things that you want to entertain, filling your cup, and breathing deeply. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Please hit the thumbs up button, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Toodles.